Welcome, dear learners. We are going to deal with the topic of significance of religion in society in detail in order to understand the concept of religion from the perspective of sociology. In this lecture, a general outline for the concept of religion and society, religion as an institution in a society, religion and social cohesion, religion in everyday life, and the social role of religion are discussed. As objectives of this lecture, learners will enable to understand the concept of religion and society, to demand the learners be aware of the social role of religion, to take an active part in the course for the purpose of deeper understanding religion and sociology. Shall we go to the topic? Religion today has taken on much more institutionalized form. Its origin has always been debated and discussed by various scholars. In sociological terms, religion is a system of sacred belief and practices both in tangible and intangible form. Religion can serve the dual roles of ideology and institution. However, understanding religion in the broad sense, the important points in society are cultural identity, values and ethics, spiritual connection, and the idea of welfare. Origin of the concept of religion. There are different theories regarding the origin of the concept of religion, but it cannot be certain when and how religious ideas emerged in man. It is also certainly not possible to say what the origin of the ideas of religion is. All these are due to the fact that there is no broad consensus amongst the thinkers in this field regarding the origin of religion. But there are people who firmly believe that religious ideas are instinctive in man. No other animal except man bears this instinctive feature. Man can be distinguished from other animals from two angles, reason and religion. Man possesses reason while other animals do not, and that is why men are called rational animals. Similarly, men are religious while other animals are not. Men bear both finite and infinite features. At the very inception of the human race on earth, men were totally ignorant about the different events that occurred in nature around them. But they were curious to know the happenings, and accordingly they applied their own efforts. They had to face different natural calamities like storms, floods, lightning, dangerous animals, famine, etc., and they were unable to overcome these situations. As a result, they had to imagine an invisible power mightier than themselves upon whom they depended for assistance, strength, and relief. Thus, fear and curiosity are the main factors responsible for the emergence of religious tendencies in ancient people. They also believed that this unseen and invisible power would be helpful in their birth, sorrow, old age, and finally in obtaining salvation. They sometimes conceived of God as their object of love. They are different forms such as father, friend, love, beloved, and master, through which they tried to attain relation with God. Thus, in order to meet their ignorance and to get strength and courage to face natural calamities, men time and again depended on an imaginary existence, the result of which is named God in religion. Now we will move to the technical aspect, religion and sociology. From the Latin word religio, respect for what is sacred, and religare, to bind in the sense of an obligation. The term religion describes various systems of belief and practice concerning what people determine to be sacred and spiritual. Throughout history and in societies across the world, leaders have used religious narratives, symbols, and traditions in an attempt to give more meaning to life and understand the universe. Some form of religion is found in every known culture, and it is usually practiced in a public way by a group. The practice of religion can include feasts and festivals, God or gods, marriage and funeral services, music and art, meditation or initiation, sacrifice or service, and other aspects of culture. While some people think of religion as something individual because religious beliefs can be highly personal, religion is also a social institution. Social scientists recognize that religion exists as an organized and integrated set of beliefs, behaviors, and norms centered on basic social needs and values. Moreover, religion is a cultural universal found in all social groups. For instance, in every culture, funeral rites are practiced in some way, although these customs vary between cultures and within religious affiliations. Despite differences, there are common elements in a ceremony marking a person's death, such as the announcement of their death, care of the deceased, disposition, and ceremony or ritual. These universals and the differences in how societies and individuals experience religion provide rich material for sociological study. In studying religion, sociologists distinguish between what they term the experience, beliefs, and rituals of a religion. Religious experience refers to the conviction or sensation that one is connected to the divine. This type of communion might be experienced when people are praying or meditating. Religious beliefs are specific ideas that members of a particular faith hold to be true, such as that Jesus Christ was the Son of God or believing in reincarnation. Another illustration of religious beliefs is that different religions adhere to certain stories of world creation. Religious rituals or behaviors or practices that are either required or expected of the members of a particular group, such as bar mitzvahs or confessions. Religion as an institution in a society. As with religion, its institutions also play an important role in social life. None can deny that the different kinds of social institutions, such as domestic, economic, and political ones, influence religious institutions. But it is also true that these institutions are sometimes influenced by religious institutions. An important aspect of religion is prayer, and different classes of people belonging to different castes of society assembled in religious institutions to perform prayer and worship. Through these activities, there are common feelings which thereby further generate common sentiments and fellowship amongst the worshippers of a particular religion. Sometimes it is found that the members of a particular religion unite, and for the greater interest of society, they perform different humanitarian activities, it is evident what early we seen that religious institutions perform not only their religious activities but also different types of activities related to social welfare, such as charitable hospitals, schools, and homes for the homeless. These institutions also run orphanages and collect money for the poor. It cannot be denied that religion is an external form of social control. The different activities of the people and their different spheres of social life are still influenced by religious rites and ceremonies. People generally express their religious feelings through rituals and ceremonies. It is also true that almost all aspects of lives of primitive people were covered by religious practices, although these were crude in nature and did not have any precise organization. We find that there are different important occasions in our social life, such as birth, marriage, harvesting, hunting, death, etc. And in all these activities, religious rites were performed in primitive societies. By doing these activities, there developed common feelings and actions that were different from religious functions. Not only in primitive societies, but also in modern societies, religious activities occupy an important place on different occasions in social life, such as birth, death, marriage, etc. Religious rites are performed. Similar activities are found in the events related to economic life as well. Moreover, it is found that in almost all ceremonies, with communities, religious rites are common practices during various occasions in social life, such as the inauguration of a new building, oath taking, etc. From the said description of the role of religion in social life, it is evident that a regular order of procedure is developed by religion in society, and thus it helps to control society. Religion helps to shape the character of an individual and thereby social life. It brings forth a sense of social value in people's minds. In obeying the social laws, to respect the elders, to show sympathy towards the feelings of others, or to discharge the social obligations faithfully, the role of religion is immense. In those cases, it acts as a teacher. Not only this, but a sense of community amongst the people belonging to different communities is also taught by religion. Moreover, religion teaches that a man's love and service to God will be real only if he loves and serves humanity. In developing moral consciousness among people, religion acts as an inspiring factor. Religion enforces uniformity of behavior, strengthens social solidarity, and thereby acts as an instrument for stabilizing social order. In primitive times, the influence of religion was very great in controlling society, and this feature is not totally lost even today. The social life of primitive people was controlled by inspiring God fear in their minds, but in the modern age, people are inspired not by fear, but by the hope for the attainment of a virtuous and noble life. Thus, by fostering patriotic sentiments in men, religion helps to maintain social integration. In describing the role of religion, according to Dr. S. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan says that religion has innumerable effects. Religion not only guarantees values but also gives meaning to life. Moreover, the confidence to go on adventures is also inculcated in our minds by religion. Thus, narrating the role of religion, he continues, religion is the discipline that touches the conscience and helps us to struggle with evil and sordidness, saves us from greed, lust, and hatred, releases moral power, and imparts courage in the enterprise of saving the world. People living in third world countries such as India, Africa, Brazil, etc., derive their sense of life from religion, and as such, religion is very important to them. They get the answers to many questions that appear in their minds. The questions such as, who are we are? What is the purpose of life? What is life and what is death? Is there anything after this life? Are very common for human beings, and they are curious to have answers to these questions. But in third world countries, science is not so developed as to answer these questions. Thus, it is religion from which they seek answers to these questions. Religion and social cohesion. Religion is the ultimate source of social cohesion. The primary requirement of society is the common possession of social values through which individuals control their own actions, and those through which individuals control their own actions and those of others, and through which society is perpetuated. These social values are never scientifically demonstrated but emanate from religious faith. Religion is the foundation on which these values rest. Science and technology could never create these values. As a matter of fact, these values are more effective if they are not examined. Children should obey their parents, not tell a lie or cheat, and people should be honest and virtuous. These are some of the social values that maintain social cohesion. It is religion that asks man to renounce unsocial activities and requires him to accept limitations on his wants and desires. Love and service are two great teachings of religion. These are all the important things. Now we will move to the next subsegment, religion in every life. Religion plays a very important role in every aspect of human life, irrespective of place and culture. Religion remains the most important element in building human character. Centers of worship have always shaped human life in different ways, influenced humans towards doing various things in a positive manner, and helped maintain a social, cultural of the respect towards the community. Religion has dominated as an important factor in our lives, determining human behavior. Religion is not a mere necessity, but a very significant part of human life that influences our lives in one way or another. Religion has both a cultural and moral impact on our lives. Most people would find it very tough to live without religion or spirituality. On the other hand, there are people who find it hard to follow it because of various religious rules and practices, and that need to be followed. Religion is something that everyone practices in their own way and with their own rituals. A look at some of the most ancient and beautiful buildings in the world reveals that they have religious significance. Ancient tombs, churches, cathedrals, and synagogues account for some of the wonders of the world and are obviously related to religious beliefs. There are people who are willing to sacrifice everything for the sake of religion. There are also some who leave aside their business, jobs, and families to follow a godly path. There are others who even renounce the world, their families, and everything they own just to follow some religious beliefs or paths that would bring them nearer to God. Religion is something that plays an important role in the life of a person and acts as a light to guide people through the tunnels of life and bring them to light at the other end. It is believed that when all the opportunities close their doors, it is God who opens all the doors for prosperous opportunities, and a religious person is never alone, as God is always there to help honest religious people. Religion is important to not only guide people through life, but it is also necessary for people to reflect on the meaning of life, what they really want out of life, and the purpose of their lives. Social role of religion. Though religion is a highly personal thing, it has a social aspect of the social role to play. It has been a powerful agency in society and performed many important social functions. The first one is individual suffering. Man does not live without on alone knowledge itself. He is an emotional creature as well. Religion serves to soothe the emotions of man in times of suffering and disappointment, and to contribute to the integration of his personality. In this world, man often suffers disappointment and frustration, even in midst of all his hopes and achievements. In this way, religion gives release from sorrow and release from fear. It enables the individual to interpret any catastrophe. It enables the individual to interpret any catastrophe as intermediate or secondary. It helps a man to bear his frustration and integrate his personality. The second one is enhances self-importance. Religion expands one's self to infinite proportions. Man unites himself with the infinite and feels ennobled. Through unity with the infinite, the self is made majestic and triumphant. The soul of the believer is worth more than the entire earthly kingdom. Man considers himself the noblest work of God, with whom he shall be united, and his self thus becomes grand and luminous. Society also gains from the self-flattery provided by religious belief. The third one is a source of social cohesion. As we have seen earlier, religion is the ultimate source of social cohesion. The primary requirement of society is the common possession of social values through which individuals control their own actions, and those of social values through which individuals control their own actions and those of others, and through which society is perpetuated. These social values are never scientifically demonstrated but emanate from religious faith. Religious is the foundation on which these values rests. The next thing is social welfare. Religion has also performed some other services to humanity, among which Sumner and Keller included the provision of work, the accumulation of capital, and creation of a leisure class. The priesthood is often dedicated to art and culture. The priests laid the foundation of medicine. The next one is agency of social control. Religions emphasize in one form or another the consequences resulting from behavior. Rewards or punishments follow approved or disapproved actions. Religions supports the folk ways and customs by placing the powerful sanction of the supernatural behind them. They commit certain acts that offend not only society but also God. Disobedience brings contamination from the spiritual forces. In its positive form, religion provides a model for living. It upholds certain ideals and values. The believer imbibes these ideals and values in his life. Religion can help our youth become moral, disciplined, and socialized citizens of society. The next one is religion controls and affects economic life. Max Weber was the view that religion also influences the economic system of believers. Next, promotion of literature. Besides, religion has also contributed to the growth of literature, art, and music. The desire to laud and please gods has led people to extol them in song, sculpture, painting, and architecture. Some of the world's most beautiful monuments or buildings erected to the glory of the gods. Vast temples like Tirupati and Mahabaleshwar, mosques like Jamma Masjid, cathedrals like Roman Catholic Church, and artistic images of gods and goddesses like Vishnu and Durga express man's desire to portray his conceptions of the supernatural in aesthetic and inspiring ways. The sacred writings stimulate the appreciation of beautiful prose and poetry. Religious themes are the inspiration for some of man's finest paintings, and the desire to sing praises has led to the creation of some of the world's fine music. The next one is friendship function. Religion also provides a good opportunity for friendship. The religious congregations serve as a place for men to find their mates and for friendly association. This friendship function of religion is a vital service to adults and youth as well. Dear learners, as stated earlier, French sociologist Émile Durkheim defined religion as a unified system of beliefs and practices relative to sacred things. To him, sacred meant extraordinary, something that inspired wonder and that seemed connected to the concept of the divine. Durkheim argued that religion happens in society when there is a separation between the profane, ordinary life and the sacred. A rock, for example, is not sacred or profane as it exists. But if someone makes it into a headstone or another person uses it for landscaping, it takes on different meanings, one the sacred and one profane. Durkheim is generally considered the first sociologist to analyze religion in terms of its societal impact. Above all, he believed religion is about community. It binds people together, means with the social cohesion, promotes behavior, consistency, in other words, social control, and offers strength during life's transition and tragedies, meanings, and purpose. By applying the methods of natural science to the study of society, Durkheim held that the source of religion and morality is the collective mindset of society, and that the cohesive bonds of social order result from common values in a society. He contended that these values need to be maintained to maintain social stability. But what would happen if religion were to decline? This question led Durkheim to posit that religion is not just a social creation, but something that represents the power of society. When people celebrate sacred things, they celebrate power of their society. By this reasoning, even if traditional religion disappeared, society would not necessarily dissolve. Dear learners, so far we have discussed the topic of the significance of the religion in society with the following things. I mean the key terms: concept of religion with the perspective of sociology, outline for the concept of religion and society, religion as an institution in a society, religion and social cohesion, religion in every life, which means the everyday life, and the social role of religion. I hope you enjoyed this session with much more information on the significance of religion in society. We will meet in another schedule. Thank you and all the best.